Hello and welcome to episode number 29 of the Hobbies and Happiness podcast, where we talk all about the hobby that makes us happy, tabletop gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Dan.
And I'm Jim, and today we're going over digital card games.
All right, so we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about today here on the podcast. So first of all, the elephant in the room. Yeah, we're just doing audio right now.
Dan, where's the camera?
Where is the camera, Jim? It's all gone. It's all down. It is all away. Oh. So we're recording this. We're recording this on Monday, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm gonna get this posted on Wednesday, like normal, and normal in air quotes, because I've sometimes the podcast gets posted on Thursday, but I try to have everything up by Wednesday. So this will be posted by Wednesday. And I will have I plan to have out kind of like a short little announcement video of kind of what's going on at Hobbies and Happiness. So if you haven't seen that, what's going on right now is I'm in the process of potentially moving. So in that process, I've got to... Since we are running this out of my basement, it's kind of all dependent on kind of what's my living situation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why what's happening right now. With the potential move, I had to tear down the studio. It's kind of bare bones. It's really clean down here, and it's really nice.
Simple.
Yeah, nice and simple.
Very simple.
But, like, just sitting here, Jim, just chatting, it's kind of nice just doing the podcast, like back to what we were doing. We're just sitting here chilling, and we're just having a chat and talking.
Yeah, I still prefer the camera.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I know that there's definitely a difference in like how I'm acting in comparison being on camera and not being on camera.
I hear you. Yeah. So, like when you have that camera, it's like you have to be on.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be on.
Yep.
And it's harder to get lazy if you will. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I feel you. I get that. So anyway, that's all what's going on behind the scenes here at Hobbies and Happiness at the moment. So for the next few episodes, I mean, probably going to be for a month or two until we get a new studio space up. We are just going to be doing the podcast in audio form. We're going to toy with the idea if we want to do like an audiogram, just have a static screen up in YouTube. But we'll have to figure that out if that's kind of what we want to do.
It'll be a slideshow of our new pictures.
Yeah, right. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. So anyway, that's what's going on. Okay. So as far as what we're talking about today, today, I actually posted here in the Discord. I was at work actually, and I'm working, and then I got a notification. On my phone from a tweet from Cryptozoic. So Cryptozoic Entertainment are the publishers of DC deck building game. I kind of tweet. I don't tweet their stuff, but I kind of keep up on what's going on. Yeah. What is going on with Cryptozoic kind of behind the scenes. So I got a notification that they made this blog, right? And announcing a new DC digital card game called DC Dual Force. And it immediately piqued my interest, right? Yeah. Because 2 words, card game, right?
The cards look really good, too.
Yeah, they do.
Look really good.
So I took a look at it. I read the press release, and then I sent it to Jim. I sent it to our Discord just to let people know what was going on. Mm-hmm. But it kind of got me thinking about digital card games. Yep. We've kind of touched on the topic before. We talk about card games all the time because that's what we are. We're all about card games.
We've dabbled talking about Magic Arena and MTGO.
Yeah. So that kind of led me into kind of this topic of all about digital card games. Mm-hmm. So, we've both played quite a bit of digital card games. Before we started doing this Hobbies and Happiness thing, before I got involved, I was doing, MTG Arena content.
Yep.
So I was playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. Mm-hmm. I haven't played Arena in a little bit. But what I have been playing, and I even played it while I was doing arena content, was Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah.
Legends of Runeterra is awesome. If you're not familiar with it, we'll get into that here in a minute. But it just got me thinking all about digital card games. And so we kind of want to just touch on kind of what card games we kind of first got into, like on the digital side, and then kind of what we're playing now and just kind of some of our favorites. So, you know, we're like a lot of our episodes, we kind of just do a 3,000 foot overview of kind of all about them. So well, the first thing I do want to touch on this because I'm excited about this DC Dual Force. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So here's the title. So Cryptozoic Entertainment, Ukes and Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment announced DC Dual Force. So digital collectible card game will feature DC characters and gameplay based on over 80 years of comic book history. I'm not going to read the entire article. But basically, it's just your normal like announcement, article of kind of what it is. So they didn't post a lot about it. They did link the website. The one interesting thing is they want to use the DC comics, like the actual comics as like a point in the game. Okay. Like you can play through. I mean, okay, so similar to probably like in all digital card games, like think of Hearthstone when they had the single player, like you play through the stories.
Yeah, the story modes, yeah.
Yeah, so they want to do something very similar to that in like playing through some DC comics, which is cool. Like,
you've through the lore of the actual comics rather than the other stuff.
Like some of the actual comic book stories,
right?
Which I mean, you've got, like they said, they've got 80 years worth of.
Awesome.
They've got a ton to do. So like that just from that standpoint, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So
then people can finally learn that Batman beat Superman. They can finally learn this.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it looks really cool. I mean, I'm a DC fanboy. I've with the MCU, I've always been disappointed in DC because I love DC and like they don't have as great of movies as the MCU does.
Yeah.
But there really isn't a Marvel digital card game that I'm aware of out there.
Yeah,
there might be, but I don't really think there's a Marvel digital card game, like a digital collectible card game out there right now. So there's not even a DC one. So this will be the first DC one, I think.
First comics.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we play a lot of them, card games. So, okay. So that's DC Dual Force. Like I'll link.
One thing I do hope for this game.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure on how it's going to be. If it is like Hearthstone where you're building a deck or if it's more like a deck builder, not entirely sure. But it do hope
look like it's competitive and you'll be building your own decks.
Okay.
It's what it looks like.
Okay.
Because they bill it as a collectible card game. They bill it as a CCG.
Because if that's the case, then I would love if they make it to where you can buy and sell cards on their stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just you mean make it more with like real world money?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I doubt they're going to do that.
Or, I mean, make it to where it's like currency based inside their game. But at that point,
there's really not any.
You would have to be able to then take the money out as well.
Yeah, but there aren't any. Okay, outside of one, there really aren't any major mainstream digital collectible card games that have that market.
And the one that is nothing like these other.
Yeah,
games.
It's not a mainstream CCG or TCG.
Yeah,
it's not. So, like, I don't think that's going to be an actual thing.
Well, I mean, it is a major one. It's just not like really played
mainstream.
Yeah, once Arena came out, people like weren't already playing MTGO. So,
Okay, MTGO. Okay, you're right.
That's like really the only. What one were you thinking of?
I was thinking of Splinterlands.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Okay,
no,
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't
which we'll get into Splinterlands here in a little bit. But okay, yeah, you're right. MTGO, Magic the Gathering Online, the original Magic digital client.
Yeah,
you're right. That is based in. Yeah, that is real world money.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have anything like it. There's a third party program or secondary party program that called like Dueling Book or Dueling Network.
Yeah.
And but on that it's just all free cards. So,
really?
yeah, you have access to every single card, whether it's in the TCG or OCG in Japan as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can even play in different formats too.
Okay.
But there's no buying and selling stuff on that because
Yeah.
everyone has everything.
Yeah. I mean, outside of MTGO, like, because MTGO has been around for years. And I just don't think that marketplace, like, no one really emulated the way MTGO was built.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was that popular.
There's also
outside of people who really played Magic.
Yeah. There's also the Pokemon TCG Online.
Yes.
You're able to not really buy cards.
Right. I love that. Okay. So
sealed product.
Yeah. So
them.
Pokemon it's called Pokemon TCG Online.
Yep.
So the really cool thing about Pokemon is, first of all, it's a fantastic game. Like if you've never played, and we haven't even done any Pokemon content.
For online games, Pokemon is probably the best card game to play online.
Pokemon is great. So specifically, I think because they do have an actual intrinsic link between real world cards and real world purchases and the digital. So with Pokemon, what happens is if you buy actual packs in IRL, right? So when you buy the pack, I think it's actually each pack.
Every single pack.
Single pack has a code that you put that code in, and you don't get the exact contents of the pack, but it's very close. It's pretty close to what you get.
Yeah, so you get
IRL.
So you get an actual pack inside the game.
Yep.
But then that will vary depending on what is inside the game.
Yeah.
But all the contents inside of the pack or the set, my bad.
Yeah.
You will get from the actual pack.
Yes.
So.
Right. So that is really cool because with all of these games that you can play both online and IRL. Excuse me. Like if you're playing digitally, you're most likely playing the game IRL.
Yeah.
Most likely. Like
there are some people I know that just play Arena because they like the flashiness of it.
Yeah.
So or they have like nowhere to play the game at all. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's because it's actually I think I should say it this way. I think the statement should be if you play the game IRL in real life, you most likely play the game to some extent digitally.
Yeah.
Because most of these games you can play for free. With most of them you can start for free.
Yep.
So like if you're playing the game in real life, you're most likely playing digitally, which I mean that's me. Like I play all these games in real life, and I also play them digitally. Now, I don't play them a ton digitally, but I still do play them.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing cool about the Pokemon Online client, I don't know if you know this, but with those pack codes, so you don't have to open them. You can just store them.
Oh.
And let's say, so online they could be saying that, oh, we'll sell you this code pack for like 50 cents for the newest set.
Yeah.
Right? So then you can spend 50 cents to buy the code online, and say you buy 10 of them. If there's a specific card that you want, you can look for it and be like, oh, I'm trading 4 of these packs for the new Charizard card, or I'm trading 100 packs for the new shiny Charizard, things along those lines.
Right,
and that's inside the client itself. So you don't even need to be just opening packs. You can now be trading for singles.
Yeah, the market... I think that's probably the best way to say it is the market within the Pokemon client is really robust and it is really good.
Yeah.
So there's really not a bad thing that I've seen in playing the Pokemon TCG Online client.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean probably one of the biggest benefits that I see to playing all of these games digitally is most of them you can play on your phone. So you can play them on the go, and a lot of the times you can play. The games don't take very long, so you can get like a couple of matches in.
I'm trying to think if Pokemon is on the phone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pulling up my phone.
Remember.
I'm pulling up my phone now.
But yeah, now Magic Arena is.
Yeah,
is
dude,
cool.
and like that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Do I not have? I don't have Pokemon on my phone.
I was gonna say,
so now I'm gonna see.
Okay.
I'm gonna check. I'm going to check. I'm gonna see if it's on Apple. It might.
Honestly, like the only downside about the Pokemon client is that you don't get to take like currency out of it. But it's like when you're comparing it to the other ones of MTG Arena, you can't take money out of it anyway.
Maybe I'm not seeing one for Pokemon TCG Online.
Okay.
Huh. I'll have to look into that. Maybe
Or it
there
might not
isn't.
be
Maybe
on
there
i-
isn't one.
It might not just be on phone. Sometimes you can get it on a tablet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, nowadays with any digital client, like there's multiple versions you have to think about.
Yep.
You've got on desktop, then you have mobile, and then you have tablet.
Yep.
So some developers, they don't want to go through the hassle because a lot of times they have to develop for every platform.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to go through the hassle. So like I can understand that. But for the most part, like a lot of these games,
Hearthstone's
you can play
on the phone.
Hearthstone's on everything. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the first. I think that was one of the first digital ones.
I believe so.
I mean, Magic has been around for a while, and they've gone through a lot of different Magic digital games. So now it's Arena. So everybody knows Arena now.
Rest in peace, Legends.
There was so many though.
Yeah.
Like there were so many versions, and like I think what they did was when they had new sets like every year, they instead of updating a client, they released a completely different game. Yeah. They released a completely different game.
Yep. And there was a one on Steam that they had released to where it was pretty much Magic, but they limited you cards in your deck based upon rarity. So rather than for a Mythic, you're only able to have one of the play set inside of your deck. So if you wanted, rather than the 4 play set, you can only use one. So Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, only a single copy.
What?
Jace the Mind Sculptor, single copy in the deck.
What?
Yeah. So
they had their own deck restrictions.
I think was it Magic
the client?
Yeah. So I think it was Magic Origins. I want to say that's what it was called.
Holy cow!
I don't remember off the top of my head. It's still on Steam.
Yeah.
They haven't done an update since Amonkhet. So it's been a long time.
So Amonkhet is 2014, 13?
I'm not sure. It was 6 months after I started Magic, though.
Yeah, so
is what it really was.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
So
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of different iterations. And that's kind of cool because you can see the track record of what it took Wizards to get to where they're at now.
Yeah.
With Arena. And Arena's got its ups and its downs.
They have a lot of spin-off games, like the Connect the Gems.
Oh
or,
yeah,
or the puzzle thing.
Yeah, that's with like any. With any IP.
Really.
Yeah, that's with any IP.
Then they also have like the Clash Royale one where you're defending your tower and summoning random monsters and whatnot. Yeah.
Clash Royale's fun.
Yeah,
I love that game. That game is fun. I have wasted a lot of time with that game. All right. Yeah, don't get me started in that.
Understood.
Okay. So, actually, I got a funny story about that. So, when I went to Verizon, I can't remember when this was, but I was upgrading your phone, right? The lady who was helping me was like looking at my bill, and she was like, "Somebody plays Clash Royale." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me," because she could see all the purchases on my account. And I'm like. Yeah. Yeah, just don't look at that. Don't tell my wife. So it was kind of funny. Okay. All right. So DC Dual Force, I am looking forward to that.
That's what we were talking about.
I am really, really looking forward to that. I will be interested to see what Cryptozoic can do because they're not the ones developing it. They're working with another developer, Ukes, which I think they actually, let me actually see. They do talk a little bit about what else.
I was going to say, is Cryptozoic more so the one figuring out like the game mechanics where the other company is more so doing the development?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so.
So it is like they still are making the game. They're just not the one programming.
Yeah, they're not the ones they're not the developers, right? They're not the ones programming it. Yeah, so this is slated to come out in quarter 3, 2022.
Okay.
So Q3 next year. So I just want to see what else they say. So I'm actually real quick going to, because I pulled up the website, and they showed some of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed some of the cards, and this was announced today, right? And there's already, I find it interesting just in our day and age, right? With now all the articles are coming out, from all these different, what is the word I'm looking for?
Badger. It's not Badger, is it?
No, it's not Badger.
Okay.
Now, I wonder, does this have anything to do with DC Fandom? But wasn't DC Fandom last week?
I don't know.
I think it was. Okay. This is, now my phone is really being DCDualForce.com. I want to go to the website myself. I don't want to have somebody. Here we go. Perfect. I got it. All right, because I just want to look up the cards. Because they do show some of the cards. Okay, so here's some of the cards, right? So here's Batman. So what it looks like is the game, you've got two heroes. Like, you can pick two heroes to lead, or two characters maybe to lead. And so you have leaders. So like they have Batman as a leader. So it says Batman the Dark Knight. So I don't know if it's level 1, but it says 1: Batman gets +2 something in
Maybe it's
ambush.
mana resource, or like the cost.
So that doesn't make sense, though. You're talking about the one? The
Yeah,
one I said?
the one
No,
comma.
that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It might. But so
That's how they do it in Yu-Gi-Oh!
So here's how it says. It says 1, Batman gets +2. I think that's gold. I'm assuming that's resource.
Okay.
And ambush this turn. And then it says 2, look at 3 cards in your deck and draw one of them. If it's a gadget, upgrade it, and Batman gains a charge. And then it's like 17 health or something. I'm not sure. And then you have Harley Quinn. So each of these leaders, it looks, they've got like 2 levels. I don't know what it is. Like if it's a level or what.
Okay.
Then you have Harley Quinn, Mistress of Mayhem. The one says +2 to 6 gold, I think.
Can I take a look?
Yeah. It's that symbol right there. And then it says, and Harley Quinn immediately attacks at random. And then 2, +3. Again, we don't know what that is. We don't know what it is.
Or whatever
Yeah,
is.
it could be. It most likely, I think, is some sort of resource.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn immediately attacks each available enemy in a random order.
Like, I think it could also be like a power or some kind of attack.
Yeah, some kind of attack.
Because otherwise, it doesn't look like they even have an attack.
Yeah, there is no attack. It looks like all they have is a shield value, which is most likely their health, would be my guess. And then so you have Superman, Man of Steel, the 1, +3 gold or something, and Hunter this turn. So don't know what Hunter is. A friendly character, and then 2, a friendly character gets invincible until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, that 1 and 2 have to be like paying a cost.
It's that. See, the reason I am doubting it is that symbol, that 1 and the 2, that symbol is different from that symbol.
Yeah, that's definitely a coin.
Yeah, it's a coin, right? So that's why I'm like, I don't know. But the other thing too is because they're vastly different abilities.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's some kind of level. I don't know. I really have no idea. So, but yeah, because then you get to the minions. Okay, and the minions don't have any of that.
Yeah.
So the minions, for example, we
look at
have
that.
Yeah. So
That's the same symbol.
Okay, so here's the minions. Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson. And so the card has start, create 2 random spells in your hand. And then at the bottom of the card, bottom left, it has 7. And then that 7 is in a coin, it looks like. So it looks like the cost is 7. And then that coin symbol is the same symbol that we saw on the leader cards. So yeah, I'm thinking it's a resource.
Yeah.
That coin is some sort of resource.
Huh.
And then so Dr. Fate also
like
has
this.
a health, I think, of 10.
Yeah.
And then you've got Gorilla Grodd. Looks like it's a cost of 7 with a health of 6, it looks like. When an enemy blocking Gorilla Grodd is KO'd, draw a card. Okay, interesting. Punchline has a cost, I'm assuming, of 3, and then a health of 3. Frenzy, Punchline has lethal if you control Joker. So another keyword of Frenzy. Huh. Now we've got some actions.
Yeah,
no. Now we've got it.
Yeah.
That is their attack value.
All right, so yeah.
So because if we look at the card, it says Super Strength. It's an action. And whoopsies. It says a friendly minion gets +3/+3. And then that gold symbol, it looks like gold.
It does.
Okay?
It looks like a gold coin.
Yes. But I'm assuming that is their attack strength. So that being said, if we look at the minions, that makes sense. There's their stat lines of 3/3 and then Gorilla Grodd 7/6.
So
and then
kind of what I've noticed, you see in the top left,
yes,
they all have like different colors.
Yes.
And I was like,
oh,
maybe that's rarity, but then there's this
rarity.
gem in the middle. That's the rarity. We have common, uncommon, rare, and legendary.
Yes.
So I think that thing in the top left, they might limit you each turn on how many things of those like tiers, like bronze tier, silver, or gold.
Please no.
They might limit you each turn
of how many you can play.
Yeah.
Oh, please no. I don't.
That's what my guess is.
I don't want to see that. Is that a thing in other games?
I mean, aside from not having the mana for it, so kind of.
Yeah, because we don't. Okay, so if
could just also be a balance.
So here's the thing, right? So if our assumption is correct about the bottom stat lines, right? Being, for example, on these minions, the 7/10 for Dr. Fate, Gorilla Grodd 7/6, Punchline 3/3. The one thing I don't see is a cost.
Yeah.
So that might be in the top left-hand corner is what Jim was talking about. There are these different symbols. So Dr. Fate is gold, Gorilla Grodd is silver, Punchline is bronze. Yeah, that might be some sort of cost.
Yeah.
And then that might be I'll be interested because there. And then if you see here, okay. So, because there's also a gem, some sort of colored gem in the center of the cards that what we're assuming is what the rarity is. So, Dr. Fate looks like it's orange, so would be like mythic. Gorilla Grodd, I assume, would be a rare. And then Punchline would either be like an uncommon, most likely, because hers is green. And then Super Strength is gray, so that looks like a common, actually.
Yeah.
Thin the Herd is another action. It says KO half of your opponent's minions rounded down. Wow.
Do we get to pick?
I would assume not, but I don't know. You never know.
Probably not.
So, so there's different colored gems, essentially. And then the card itself has a color, like a colored border.
Yeah.
I wonder what that indicates.
Oh, let
me see that.
What color is Punchline?
Punchline is orange.
Okay.
Gorilla Grodd is purple.
Yeah, I mean there might be color dependent things.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. We don't know. We're trying to figure all this stuff out right now. I'm interested to see. And so we have this card called Batcave. Or excuse me, to the Batcave. It's got a purple gem, so that's like an epic in Legends of Runeterra, I think. Says your leaders heal 3 damage. For the rest of the game, draw an additional card each turn.
Wow.
That's
is that a
crazy.
creature or is that just a...
It's an action. That is an action.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's a card right there.
So they have they showcase leader cards, minions.
Is it a gold?
Action.
Like a gold
yes,
cost?
that's like a gold.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it looks like a really, really good card.
Yeah.
And then they talk about the
and of course it's
comics. Blue. Yeah. So what they say is playable comic books. So that's their like single player story mode type thing. So it looks very, very interesting. Then they talk about preparing for battle. Superman and Batman versus the Joker. So it looks interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much all they show. And this is their website that we're actually looking at here. So I will give you what they say here. So superheroes, super strategy, super fun. Team up your favorite DC superheroes for the first time in DC Dual Force, the digital collectible card game. So they're really billing the dual heroes. So like you're taking a team of two.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have teams of two characters leading. So DC Dual Force is a fresh way to play a collectible card game. Team up your favorite DC characters and build amazing decks that take advantage of the heroes' synergies. The team-up mechanic unlocks unparalleled gameplay variety and deep, rich collectible card game strategy. Quick to learn and fun to master, DC Dual Force is an incredibly intuitive experience for gamers new to collectible card games. So that is
I can't wait to check this out.
Yeah. So that's kind of what they say. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
It looks really, really interesting. So yeah, we'll post links to that so you guys can check it out for yourselves. So Jim, what was the first not collectible? What was the first digital card game you played?
The first digital card game. Oh,
was it Hearthstone?
No. It was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it was on Dueling Network at the time. Later on, changed the name to Dueling Book. And that was the first one because, I mean, I've been into Yu-Gi-Oh since like 02, 03. I forget exactly. And it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
And there are definitely a lot of flaws. So you know how in a lot of digital ones, everything is very automated.
Yeah.
This was very not automated. You would
really?
Yeah. So the only automated thing would be it would draw your card at the start of your turn.
No.
Everything else, you would have to right click on the card and it would give you every single option that you could do with that
so you
card.
Could very easily cheat.
Yes, and a lot of people did.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, that
now,
happens.
Could you only control your board?
Yeah, you can only control your board.
Oh yeah, that would
Yeah. So many people cheat, and like in the low elo, people will cheat and you can call them out on rulings or they messed up things.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's not how that works. I can do it. And then you're just like, let me get a judge in here. But the judges will only come if it's a ranked event.
Oh my word, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's rough.
That is insane, dude.
So then I stopped playing that one. I would only go on there for like creating decks or checking out new cards.
Yeah,
that was the only reason I then went to it because they have a nice system. And then I started playing Ygo Pro, which is Yu-Gi-Oh Pro.
Yeah.
Which is a client-based one that you download.
Yeah.
It gave you pretty much every single card. You could test decks against computers, playing like a specific deck. So you could even build, say, 2 decks, have the computer play one of them. So if you want to test your decks against really meta stuff, they can pilot the deck very optimally.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Yeah.
I mean, I never played them just because they.
I was gonna say
at the time,
does the Game Boy games count? Is that
I
digital
mean,
card?
they were.
All right, then those were definitely
yeah.
the first ones I played.
Yeah, the Pokemon, even the Pokemon,
the Pokemon one,
for sure.
Pokemon TCG.
So yeah, and like I think the reason I never got into the Yu-Gi-Oh because I mean Yu-Gi-Oh has been around for a long time, and like I say only now, but it's been a while,
almost 20 years.
It's been a while since I've started playing too. But when I started playing card games, like. It was a lot later in life. Yeah. And so up to that point, I'm just like, I never had a reason to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? So like I never got into it. And then not now I'm like, I want to at least just play it just because I just want to see what it is and what it's about.
It's crazy.
But I never got into it just because at that time I just remember like it just looked weird, you know, and I wasn't into like the JRPG or the anime, the art, just the anime style, right?
Yeah, the artwork's completely different.
Yeah, yeah. So it never really.
A lot of
appealed to me.
people are also thrown off by the numbers as well, being in like the thousands worth of damages and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was like, because I remember a lot of people talking about it's like, why is this damage so high? But it's also when you think about Japan's currency, it's pretty much always 100 times ours in terms of the number.
Yeah.
So they're always throwing, 100 yen or $1.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always like a penny per yen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're just used to these numbers.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, then if it's something you're not used to, then it's gonna you're gonna think it's probably weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't really bother me as much.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, it's with a lot of these things, a lot of it is just it's a preference thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Art style's different.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first one that I played was probably Hearthstone. And then when it, and I know we've talked about this before, but when it started getting too RNG, I'm like, nah, man, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
And that was around the time when I started really learning and like getting good at a certain deck. Because that's the thing with all card games, right? You got to keep playing. You got to play a lot to get good.
Yeah.
And like you have to know the card pool. You got to know, like, especially if you want to be really good, you have to know what is in the card pool. You got to know what decks you're going to go up against.
Yep.
And then when you're just throwing this whole other variable of randomness, it's like, dude, like I know, like you could know everything that you're going to go up against.
Yep.
And then when you're just introduced, here's something random, here's something random, here's something random. How do you plan for that strategically?
You can't.
Exactly.
Well, all right. I guess how
that's
you would
hard.
Yeah, how you would plan for it is just not by like not overcommitting to the board, something along those lines, or making sure you have a board wipe for whatever thing, because you can be like, oh, discover 10 random spells, and it's like, well, I played a bunch of creatures on the board,
and the thing with Hearthstone was there was zero interactability.
Yeah, aside from the secrets, which they can play around,
secrets,
there was nothing else.
Right. Yeah, and I don't even think there's still to this day is any interactability.
Yeah, secrets and like death rattle. That's about it.
Yeah. But once your opponent was doing their thing, there was literally nothing you could do.
Yeah.
Outside of playing ahead of time, like with your secrets or creatures that had death rattle. Yeah. So that was just a big turnoff for me, and I'm just like, no, I'm like, because at that time, like I was seeking, like I was really looking to get deep into like the strategy side, and honestly, just try to get better and just to get better at the game, but then also just to get better at card games in general. And I just felt like that whole added randomness, I'm like, it's hurting me more than anything because it's making me not want to play.
Yeah.
So like I abandoned Hearthstone. Like I still have it on my phone and my computer, but I can't remember the last time I opened it up.
Yeah.
So, but the next one that I played after that was Elder Scrolls Legends. It is not being developed anymore. I have actually was still playing it not a couple of weeks ago. And like I was just playing the same deck that I was playing, and I'm just like, I don't even know why I'm playing this, honestly, because it's not being developed, and like it's more of a nostalgic thing now for me. Because the thing, so I'm interested to get your take on this too.
Okay.
So, the biggest reason I stopped was the card pool. The card pool for the game is not vast. It's not really big, and so the game really now is. Just take the best cards from whatever colors you're in and then play. And if you're not playing the best cards, then it's like, well, then what are you doing? Like, if you're not playing the best cards in your deck that are available, then you're losing, basically. That's not
fun the right answer?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just interested in what your opinion is. Like playing a game that's defunct, right? So playing a game that's defunct on a ranked ladder, like they still have like
Okay, yeah. If we're talking about like
and stuff like
competitive
that, yeah.
wise, then yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
As I was gonna say, but like
because that conversation is always going to be a conversation. Like, am I playing to have fun or am I playing to compete?
Yeah, that's why I was like a little bit taken back by it. I'm but Dan, we play for fun formats.
No, right.
Yeah, so how I kind of see it, for Yu-Gi-Oh, they have their traditional format and they have their advanced format. It's pretty much just advanced. But then a few years ago, they came out with, this isn't even official, GOAT format.
Yeah.
Which is not for greatest of all time format. It's based upon a card Scapegoat that was being played everywhere. So GOAT format was the name, and it's pretty much cards from April 2005. And it pays attention to the ban list for that moment as well.
Okay.
So for that, the best deck that was winning at that time, which was pretty much GOAT control with Scapegoats, now is not the best deck anymore.
Oh.
So there's actually like a really big shift in the meta game for Yu-Gi-Oh! GOAT format.
Okay.
So like if we are now taking decks, and it's because people have more time now to be thinking and figuring out stuff inside that format.
So the format is everything up to that point in time?
Yes.
Nothing after that.
Pretty much.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's pretty much the format between April and October 2005.
Got it.
So
got it.
yeah, people are still playing the format, figuring out new ways to beat. So there was GOAT Control, which was like the number one deck, turned into Chaos Control.
Okay.
Which it had trouble with other decks that would like move faster, but since everyone was playing GOAT Control, they had a lot better War of Attrition style deck.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a control against control, that's what you want to have. You need to be able to go into the longer stages of the game.
Yeah.
So then Chaos Control became the number one deck. And then Chaos Warriors became the number one deck because now they're taking care of cards that are faced up on the board controlling, and it's more mid-range. So now I'm also negating your cards that give you more value as well. And I'm going faster than the clocks that you're used to.
Got it.
And then from there, we're even going into different style list of warriors along with zoo list, and it's getting a little bit out of hand for like all of the really good decks there are. So like when you were talking about your game, what was it again? The
Elder
Legends?
Scrolls Legends.
Okay, yeah. So with Legends, its competitive scene is the same. For Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's just the thing with Legends was it wasn't around for that long of a time.
Right.
It was only around for like maybe a couple of years.
Well, with the GOAT format going back to 2005, it was only out for 2 or 3 years at that moment. Because it came out.
It's not everything before that?
No. So that's what it is. But Yu-Gi-Oh came to the US in 2002.
Oh.
So from 2002 to 2005, that's all the card pool that you got to play with.
I don't even think Legends is even that big. Because, how many sets is that?
We'll say like maybe 4 every year.
Oh yeah,
so probably like 16 sets.
The thing with Legends is there's like a couple of sets, and like the sets, and I'm putting sets in air quotes here. The sets weren't even that big,
right?
So there's not
so
there's
it's
just
a lot
not
less.
a lot. Yeah, there's just not a lot of cards there. I mean, so relatively speaking, I mean, Legends is still fun. Like I still do enjoy kind of playing the game, but like. The thing is, it's like, why am I going back to play it, right? It's mostly now just for nostalgia. And even if I go back to build new decks, it's like, why? Like, there's really even not... There's still people playing the game, sure. But, from a content creation standpoint, there's nobody's going to create content for a dead game for the most part. There's still, like, there definitely are. I mean, I think Team Covenant, right? And they play, like, they have their streams. It's like Throwback Thursdays. And they play a lot of dead card games, right? But I mean, that's like for them and their audience, which is cool. Like I think that's really cool.
I mean, it's a completely different thing.
Right. But still, it's like I'm not going to strictly create content for one game, right? That is dead. It just doesn't make any sense. So, that just goes back to the whole conversation of why are you doing what you're doing, right? So anyway, but that's Legends. I mean, it's still around. Man, I'm putting myself back because like I was starting to create content for that game. Yeah. And I was like, that was when I was trying to figure out all the technology of, okay, how am I going to capture quality gameplay? How am I going to, record myself? All that stuff. That was, it's bringing me back, dude. So, we've talked about Arena, right? Arena is I think Arena is doing well, like from a business standpoint. I think it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's doing great.
Yeah, so I haven't played Arena in a while because typically when we play Magic, we're playing Commander.
Not to mention the format is a lot better from what I hear and what I've seen.
Is it?
A lot of people are liking the standard, but there is a problem card.
What
it has something to do with
Epiphany?
Yeah, it has something to do with giving you 2 1/1 birds and then
an extra turn
on top of that.
It costs 7 mana, and you can
or 6,
or I thought it was 5.
Well,
it is 6.
Yeah. So if you foretell it's technically 8.
Yeah. Right. You can foretell it on turn 2.
Yeah. So with foretell, you spend 2 mana to put this card face down in the trap or spell or trap card zone. I was just saying Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Yeah, I know.
So you put it face
down. I understood
down.
that reference.
so yeah, and then later on you can activate your trap card on them. Take an extra turn for 6 mana.
Not at instant speed though.
No, unfortunately, not at all.
Unfortunately, I don't even know. Again, I haven't been following Magic close enough to know why it's been causing a problem. I mean. Extra turn.
It's because it's a control list.
Historically, extra turn spells are always causes for whining, complaining, and concern in the card game community.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Specifically, Magic. So I'm not surprised but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the list. I'm curious to know what the list is.
Since it's a control list, I think that's really what's causing people to be more upset about it.
Oh yeah, because those games, those games can take a long time. They take a long time. I think it's Is It. I'm pretty sure it's an Is It list. I think. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah. Is It is red and blue. The colors are red and blue.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm interested. They Magic just had their Worlds. World's Championship.
Oh, man.
I think I actually before you got here. I was actually looking on my phone, and I think it was on Instagram where I saw it. Now I'm actually pulling up Instagram. I believe so. Andre Strosky was like 10-0.
Wow.
I think he was 10-0, and then I think he lost.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he lost.
He was 10-0, and then it goes to what, top 8 or 16?
No, I think this was in the championship game is when he lost.
Oh, he lost the final?
I think.
Holy cow.
Why do they make stuff so hard to find on here we go.
Man, I was going to say, because normally it's like
Wizards
when you
Magic.
go 10-0, it's in the first day.
Yeah, he's the champion.
Or 2.
So, Utah. Oh, man,
Utah?
Yuta Takahashi. There we go, Takahashi. He is the champion. So, let's see.
I don't know if this is the same guy, but when I played, when I started playing, during the Kaladesh Pro Tour, there was a guy who was playing Grixis Control. And in the finals, he was going up against the Jeskai Control list. And he ended up winning it, I think, in 5 games. I forget exactly. But I want to say his name was also Utah, but I don't remember his last name. I don't know if this is the same guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of curious.
Was he Japanese?
His name was Utah. Yeah. I just don't remember his last name.
So he went 0-3. He started 0-3 in the draft.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I would have went 0-3 drop.
And then he went undefeated in standard to come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
I'm terrible at drafts though.
Oh yeah. But I mean, Andre Strasky was killing it.
Yeah.
He was like undefeated in like everything, I thought.
Huh.
So yeah, I saw a clip and like he was crying. Yuta
I was
crying.
close. It was Shota.
Oh, okay.
Shota. Okay. Yasuka.
Okay.
Shota Yasuka.
Okay.
If you're listening out there, good job. He's not listening.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. So the cool thing about Magic, just in Arena, is they can do these tournaments from anywhere now.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to all get together, and that's the pandemic plus being on a digital platform now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, cool. I mean, technology, right?
Yeah.
Yay, technology. Cool. Woo. And we've talked about this like on the podcast before. Like what we want as a company, is we're all about gathering around a table. But, when you're in the midst of a pandemic,
I would just do it in someone's basement.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, So let's see. We haven't really talked about Legends of Runeterra yet.
Mm-hmm.
Legends of Runeterra is an awesome game.
It is really cool.
Have you played it?
I've played it.
Okay.
I haven't really messed with it lately.
Oh,
though.
okay.
But I have played it when it first came out.
Okay. I've we talk about playing games on the phone now. That's what I play now.
Okay.
I take, with my phone, like I just pull that up and I just play that when I'm on the go.
Yeah, just go.
But the sweet thing about Legends of Runeterra, so Legends of Runeterra is Riot. Okay, so that's a Riot Games game. So it's the League of Legends lore.
Yep.
So definitely check it out. Now they
Our referral link will be in the description.
Yeah, right. They've got a ton of different champions in the game now. Yeah. When they started, they had like, I don't know, 10. They've got like 50 some on now. They've got a ton. Yeah. They are coming out with new content every month almost.
Wow.
Maybe it's not every month, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Probably like a normal set release, like for Magic or Pokemon. I think it's around that time frame is kind of when they're coming out with new stuff. So like I haven't been following it for the longest time, but probably recently I did get back into playing a lot of the game. So the sweet thing about Legends of Runeterra is you don't have to put a penny into the game, and you can own all of the cards on your account. The game rewards you for playing the game.
Yep.
So it is a lot of fun. I mean, just like everything Riot Games, it looks phenomenal. It plays very, very well. So they've got an interesting mechanic where you have the champions, like from League of Legends, right? League of Legends lore, that you can level up in the game. So they've got two different levels. You got level 1 and level 2. Which now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if that's how DC Dual Force is going to be similar to that. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know because they show the different levels. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So yeah, they've got different levels for the champions. And the animations look sick. They look so good. But again, it's Riot Games.
Yeah.
The art is awesome. One of the sweetest things I love about the art of League of Legends of Runeterra is you can right-click the card.
I'm like, it's really the same thing.
It is. It really is. It is. But you can right-click the card, and then they'll show you, like, the art of it. But then if you click, like, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the art full screen, and it's, like, the entire piece of the art. It's not just what's on the card.
Yeah.
Like, what's on the card is, like, maybe 5 to 10% of the piece.
Yeah, so you could easily set your wallpaper.
Oh yes, 100%. It is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. So yeah, Legends of Runeterra is amazing. It is so good. Yeah, I mean, just check it out. Like if you've never played it, you should definitely check it out. All right, so you've played it a little bit.
Yes, I've dabbled.
You've dabbled. Okay, so Jim, there's one other game that you can talk about a little bit.
There's another game on the list?
There's one other game on the list. What's the game called, Jim?
The game is called Splinterlands.
All right. What is Splinterlands?
It is a card game on the blockchain.
Yep.
This is an NFT card game.
Yep.
So if you guys don't really know anything about crypto or the blockchain, you honestly don't need to play this game at all. Like they make it really easy to get into the game. They give you free cards. They make it real easy for if you want to buy credits inside the game. You don't have to do anything with the cryptocurrency at all. That's just for like more investors or people who want to learn it, or even if you are playing the game and you slowly start learning about cryptocurrency. But yeah, so
it's relatively new, right? The game is
so
relatively
I found
new.
out it came out 2018. And there was a Kickstarter for it too.
No way.
Yeah, there was. I'm like, man, if only I knew about it.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
But I try not to do that to myself. Don't be like, man, if only I did this.
Yeah, don't worry about the FOMO stuff.
Yeah, it's not like the people who had Black Lotuses back in the day knew magic was gonna pop off.
Right,
you know?
Right.
So yeah, this is a card game on the blockchain. It is a little bit different though than normal card games. So you go into a match and it will give you a set of rules. It can either be standard or it can be like, oh, you can only use these X colors, and there's red, green, white, blue, black, dragon, and neutral cards.
Interesting.
Yes. So
do you go into the game knowing those sets of rules?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you go into a ranked game, you hit battle, and then once it finds an opponent for you, it will tell you the last 5 games that they played, so you can kind of get an idea of what your opponent could be playing in your game, and you could attempt to counter pick it, or you could be like, well, since I have no clue what they're playing, I'm just going to go really proactive and go aggressive.
Right.
Or just go with a really overpowered team comp. Okay. So, and inside the game, there's hundreds of cards in the game, but you can really only pick up to 6 cards to go into battle with you. So so it's an auto combat system. It's not like a normal card game where you're like, oh, I'm attacking you, I'm doing this and this. You put your tank up front, so it is also a little bit RPG style. So you have like your bulkier tanks, you could have a healer, you could have range damage dealers, you could have sneaky assassins that no matter where they're at on the line, they're going to be able to get to your opponent's back row and start attacking their cards.
Oh, so it's kind of like Rogue Storybook. Have you played that game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Okay. So this is
the whole team, because you've got a team.
Yeah, so you build your team before you go in, as you're going into the game, you're setting up your team rather than figuring out your team as you go along and getting currency.
Because you've got like with Rogue Storybook, I mean, I'm just trying to help myself understand the game. With Rogue Storybook, you've got a team, right, that's in front of you, and then you have your deck, right?
Yeah.
That where you play your cards, and then your cards will then, trigger your team to do something.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe Hearthstone also has like one of these auto battler with card things. I forget what it's called.
They do. Yeah.
I want to call it like Brawl. But
I think it's something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. So yeah, it is a little bit like that. And this game is still very early. They just officially released. Well, they only have one official release set. So this would be like the revised, really, in terms of like Magic sets.
Right.
So yeah, they just came out with their first set, and now they're coming out. Not really just came out, start of the year. Now they're coming out with their latest set, which is going to be starting in about a month.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's I learned since I've learned about NFT video games, I've been very interested.
Yeah.
Because with my background in video games and RMT activity and selling things from these games, it just really resonates with me. But aside from that, since these are cards and they have a value, you can buy and sell on their website. You can also rent cards out to people, so they can pay you a little bit over time every single day for them to be using your cards. Yeah. So at that point, it's just pretty much playing Millennium Blades in real life on,
right.
on the computer and stuff.
So, so I mean, there's a market. I mean, Jim's kind of been talking about this for a while. So kind of he's been doing his thing with that. And it seems going pretty well. So, so Splinterlands, if you're interested in the blockchain, you're interested in NFTs, definitely check it out if that is something you would be interested in. I mean, there's a ton of digital card games that we could keep going on about. What I like to do is, like, if you go to Steam, just search card game, just search card game on Steam, and there will be a
Shadowverse is another one.
Shadowverse is great. That is also on mobile. You can also check out Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck builder. Yeah. Slay the Spire is a lot of fun.
Man.
So
it's so weird because I don't think about that card or that game being a card game, even though that's exactly what it is.
It is exactly a card game. So what we are, and Jim and I have talked about this for a bit. We are, from a content creation standpoint, we kind of really want to niche down into like the content that we're doing, as opposed to being like super broad doing like everything tabletop. Like we're a big tabletop channel. Like we've never really thought of ourselves as like doing, we're all about tabletop. I mean, we are, like, we love the tabletop community. We love tabletop, but we are card game players. We are card gamers. And so from a content perspective of like what the things that we are going to be doing, it's really going to revolve mostly around card games. Like that's just that's who we are. And, it's, you get into some of these conversations with people and it's like, you need to understand yourself. You need to know who you are. Who are you? I mean, we really, seriously, we are card gamers. Like, we're card game players.
What is the line Mufasa says to Simba while he's in the sky?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Does he remember who you are?
Remember who you are.
Something
like that. Yeah. Yeah. I can't do James Earl. Nobody can do James Earl Jones except James Earl Jones. No one. And so that's why when they did the remake, it's like, who do you get to replace James Earl Jones?
I know. You can't.
I know who you get. This is one person you get. You get James Earl Jones to do it himself. Dude, imagine if James Earl Jones had passed away.
Oh man.
Imagine, who you gonna get? And who's gonna accept the role? Be like, no, I ain't touching that. No way.
I don't know.
I'm not doing it.
Morgan Freeman.
So this is a total change of subject, but so Dave Chappelle had a new special.
Oh man. I was just thinking about that.
Did you see? So I'm not talking about the actual special, okay? But the trailer.
The trailer is so funny.
So if you haven't seen it, it shows Dave Chappelle driving in a truck, through a field, right? A cornfield or
Old
something.
Town Road.
Oh yeah, that's basically what it is, right? And so as he's driving, it's got Morgan Freeman narrating, basically just a bunch of stuff. And so finally, what happens is the camera is on Dave Chappelle, on the side view, and then it starts to zoom out, it backs out and zooms out, and then Dave Chappelle's like, "Shut the F up, Morgan Freeman."
You shut the Morgan Freeman.
And so it zooms out, and then you see Morgan Freeman sitting right next to him, and he's like, "Sorry, man."
Yeah, that trailer
it was
so
hilarious, dude. I mean, Morgan Freeman is another one. Who do you get? Everybody, dude, everybody can do a Morgan Freeman voice.
Well, you can certainly try.
Yes, this is true. But Morgan Freeman has got one of those voices that a lot of people try and imitate and mimic, right? But I've never have I ever seen anyone try to do James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I haven't even seen an impression of him.
No, right. I've seen everybody do Morgan Freeman, but I've never seen anybody do James Earl Jones.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And you can't. James Earl Jones is he is amazing. Mm-hmm. My parents actually went to a Chicago Symphony Orchestra concert years ago.
Wow.
And James Earl Jones was there, and he was, because I think they were performing Star Wars. Was it Star Wars? I think he was
That's
performing
awesome.
something, and he was there, like, doing some narration. I'm like, why did you not get me a ticket? How dare you? How dare you? I mean, I enjoy the CSO, like I enjoy classical music, but I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I don't even care. I don't care what it is. If James Earl Jones is there,
Right.
I want to be there and listen to that man in person live. Holy cow.
Yeah.
My ears would be like, you know, I don't know, not bleeding, but like they would be singing sweet melodies of James Earl Jones's voice.
Okay.
Oh, he's just got one of those voices, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, nobody is going to replace
You know, he
James
sounds
Earl
a whole
Jones.
lot like Darth Vader. It's so weird.
But didn't they and so many I'm actually curious when those originals were released, because James Earl Jones was the voice of Vader, but he didn't play Vader.
No.
So I'm curious, because nowadays, like,
The guy
the
who
outrage is like, how dare you've got James Earl Jones and it's not James Earl Jones actually playing the character. I'm curious if anybody cared back then. I'd be curious to know. I mean, because our world, our culture now is not the culture that it was back in
not
the day.
my culture.
Yeah, right. So like, it's just something like culture interests me. Like past cultures, like American culture specifically, like how we used to be and then how we are now. Like that's just something that is interesting to me. So I'm curious, like what it was like back when it was released, if anybody cared about it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like nowadays everybody cares about everything. Like everything that's going on, everyone has an opinion one way or another about it. So I'd be curious. It's something that would be of interesting, be interested to me. So
I remember watching some old document, or I guess it wasn't really old, but they were going over about the original Star Wars and how at first they were going to use the actor's voice. So who actually was in the suit, use his voice. But it was. Yeah, but the voice, it wasn't, it was kind of like a higher pitched voice. And they were just like, we're not going with that. So, and then they got the correct one.
His voice is just so iconic.
Yeah.
It is so iconic. Like, have you ever seen Field of Dreams?
Yes, I have.
One of my favorite movies. Like, anything that James Earl Jones has ever been in, Sandlot is another one. Sandlot's another one, right? Where it's
he had a great collection.
Oh yeah, he did. That's another one that's very interesting, especially now, like in our culture now.
Coming to America.
Oh yeah, Coming to America.
I didn't even know he was in that.
Until the new one?
I watched it recently, the original.
The original?
One,
okay.
And I was like, I didn't even know this guy was in here. But I'm like, yeah, you better have him in here.
Right, exactly. Oh, he is so great.
Yeah.
I think talking about Morgan Freeman now, I think one of the first times I actually saw Morgan Freeman in anything was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever seen that movie?
No.
I think that was one of the first movies that I saw with Morgan Freeman in it.
Huh.
So if you've never seen it, check it out. I mean, it's a Robin Hood movie, you know. But
I don't know what the first
Christian is what he yells to Kevin Costner's character, because he's in the movie. In the movie, Morgan Freeman is like Arabic, I want to say, or is he might actually be Muslim. I think in that movie he's a Muslim.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I know that's a religion, but I'm pretty sure in that movie he was a Muslim, because he met Robin Hood in prison. That was like one of the first scenes. They escape prison, and then they both come back to England. So he comes back to England with Kevin Costner, Robin Hood, and he follows him because Robin Hood saved his life, and he's like, I owe you a debt, and like, because of my religion.
So who's the first merryman?
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. Like it's a good Robin Hood movie. I like it.
Yeah, the first Morgan Freeman movie. So I don't know
how we got to talking about this, but it's okay. It's all right. We're having
good.
fun.
So I don't know the exact
You're in it now,
first
people.
movie, I don't know. I don't remember the exact first movie, but the one I can remember him in first was probably Bruce Almighty.
Oh yeah,
with Jim Carrey and him playing God.
Yeah, because he was playing God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the first one I remember. And that
My favorite part in that
kind of old now.
My favorite part in that movie, Steve Carell is in that movie.
So that was Evan Almighty.
No, Steve Carell is in Bruce Almighty.
Oh, he's in the first one?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So he's an anchor. So Steve Carell is an anchor.
Okay.
Right. And so one of my favorite scenes in that movie is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Right. Is as Steve Carell is doing like a bit. Right.
Yeah.
Because Jim Carrey wants his job.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Steve Carell gets the promotion and not him. I'm pretty sure he got some promotion, but he's like,
oh, yeah, changing up what he says.
Changing what he's saying. Yeah. So he's doing, yeah, dude, that was fun. I mean, and that's something that I feel like only Steve Carell can do well. Like Steve Carell is just talk about how hilarious and funny actor. Yeah. I mean, that's totally Steve Carell.
Yeah, that guy had a lot of good movies.
Oh yeah, and shows.
Yeah.
So digital card games.
Oh right.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, we were talking about niching down, right? And it's really weird how we get off on these tangents.
Yeah,
it's funny, but anyway, so yeah, we talk about niching down. So, I mean, if you've watched our content and listened to our content for, any length of time, you probably have got the sense that, we're card gamers, we're card game players, and that's kind of what we gravitate to and what we enjoy. So we don't want to hide behind, just tabletop. So, we are card game players. So, in the next few weeks, months, I probably want to at least get it out there that, this is card game content. So, that's, we just want to be open. We want to be honest with our audience. We do like board games. We love board games. I still want to do like some kind of series that is us playing board games. I know we have one of our, at least one in our audience has seen that Gargoyles Awakening game and is like, dude, when are you guys going to play that? We will play it. All right. I swear we will play it. All right. I don't know when, but we will play it. There's a couple of board games I do want to get out on the table. And just have a fun time. That is one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to in this new studio space, which will still be my basement, but that's okay. Is hopefully we'll have a little bit more room to, because I'll have to set the studio up in a way that will let us show more people at the table. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we do want to be doing some other types of content. Like I do want to have like a board game series of, hey, here's us playing some other board games. Yep. So yeah, I'm rambling, so I'm sorry. Very sorry. But yeah, so digital card games, check out Steam. Just go to Steam, check out, just search card games. And then I know, we'll probably want to do some other topics related to specifically digital card games, like roguelike deck builders. We talk about Slay the Spire. There are other games that are like Slay the Spire that are out there. And now there's like these auto card battlers. Yep. Is like a relatively new genre. Yeah. I feel like.
I think
Storybook Brawl.
I think it really stemmed from like the auto chess games.
Yes. Yeah, like Teamfight Tactics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Teamfight Tactics is the one that Dota has.
Yeah, auto chess, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, which was actually their it was a mod on Dota.
Yeah.
And then it's
which
just
Dota
like
was a mod.
In. Yeah.
Dota was a mod.
Dota
itself is a mod from
Warcraft. Yeah.
And then the auto chess is a mod of a mod.
Then Dota came out. Then Dota 2 was out.
Yeah. But it's like Riot does everything better. Almost, it seems like.
Comparison to Blizzard.
Or what? Well, is Dota Blizzard?
Oh no.
Yeah, Dota's
I'm more
not
so.
Blizzard.
Yeah, I just don't know who we're trying to compare.
So Riot is doing a lot of the stuff. See, okay, so when I think when I think Riot again, my mind now goes to League of Legends, right? Because League of Legends was their first game.
Yeah, it's their biggest.
Right. And so League of Legends was a direct competitor to Dota.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, who even makes Dota? That's a Valve property,
Valve.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there a Blizzard? There isn't a Blizzard. Oh, wait, is there a Blizzard IP in there? For that game?
So Heroes of the Storm.
That's right,
was
Heroes of the
theirs,
Storm.
and they take characters from all over the different
Blizzards.
Games.
But wasn't Blizzard last to the party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because Dota was first.
Yeah. Dota was the first one.
Now here's a question: Was Dota officially first?
I believe so because Dota 1 was already Dota itself was already out.
Okay.
And then Dota 2 came out later. I don't
it.
remember
and then,
exactly.
And then League.
Yeah.
And then League came out. Okay, understood.
And I want to say Dota 2 was actually out before League of Legends.
I think so.
So then,
because I remember that time period.
Yeah. And then there was another one called Heroes of New Earth, which was Han. And that one kind of just fell off the face of the earth. That one was pretty much a Dota clone as
Understood.
well.
I got it.
And then Blizzard came out with theirs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There's. We've got some ideas of kind of just how we the direction we want to take our content and kind of our business and in general. But we do not want to shy away from being card game players.
Yeah.
So we one of the things we just want to figure out is kind
I don't even know if I could.
No, right. That's the thing. It's like that's who we are, and like that's the stuff that we love, and like we're strategy card game players.
Yeah.
So like that's why we play. Like you look at my shelf over here of games, and it's all strategy games.
Yeah, strategy
and card games. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. So it's like we want to embrace who we are, and it's like we don't want to. I know we've all seen content creators who are like, I'm just going to go at what's hot right now. I'm just going to make content with what's hot.
Yeah.
And, it's like, am I good at it? No. Like, do I know what's going on in this topic? No, I don't.
That's when you do, like, when you're in the higher tiers of, like, the YouTube or the streaming
if
people.
You've got millions
and they're like,
followers.
oh, go check out this game. It's like, okay. Or, the creators could even sponsor you to go check out their game, which is a completely different story.
Right.
So
it's like Logan Paul doing the Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
Like he single-handedly got a lot of people. I mean, I think he is solely responsible for why Pokemon got sold out.
Maybe.
And at that time
Honestly,
period.
probably.
On that time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But it's we want to be true to who we are. We don't want to BS our audience. It's we don't want to be fake with you guys. Like we want to be open and honest with you about what we like and what we're good at, and we want to be creating and producing a certain type of content, but at the same time, we want to give our audience what they want, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So I've got some thoughts and ideas of kind of videos that we want to make that are like, hey, we have an audience. It may not be a big audience, but we still have an audience, and we care about you guys. We care about our audience. I can't tell you
for sure. At least 50% of them. For sure.
But seriously though, like
thanks, Mom.
I can't tell you like it's almost every day I see a couple of comments like on our videos that are like, hey man, we love you guys, we love your content. Like that's awesome. Like I am glad that we are creating valuable content to our audience.
Yeah.
And like honestly, it's like, dude, all we're doing is playing games, right? But like honestly, with everything we do, I have quality at the heart of what we do. Mm-hmm. And so I'm glad that we are able to provide quality content for our audience, and that's awesome. So, going forward, I want to be doing more of that, but also I want to be giving our audience, content that they want to see. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see something that you don't see, let us know. Let us know kind of what you're looking for, and we'll kind of think about it and kind of see how we can provide you that type of content. So I'm rambling again. I gotta stop rambling, dude. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we've been going for a little bit here, but thank you. So is there anything else that, speaking of digital card games, is there anything else or content in general that kind of I didn't mention, you didn't mention that kind of want to touch on here?
So, I mean, so these games are getting bigger pretty much every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's new ones coming out all the time. Yeah. Like, hence why we started talking about this with the DC game.
Yeah. But, I don't play a whole lot of them anymore. Just because I prefer the physical card games themselves.
Yes. And we've even talked about this, like, you know, the tactileness, the tactility of holding these cards in our hands. Like, again, we're card game players.
It got to a point when I was playing Arena, the best time when I was playing is when I would hold physical cards and just like hand shuffle before I even do anything on the screen.
Yep.
So.
And honestly, I feel like it's going to get, speaking of digital, it's going to get to the point to where you've got people like us who were card game players, but like we prefer playing on tabletop with physical cards. You're going to have that generation of people who are like, now we play tabletop, like we prefer tabletop. And then you're going to have a whole different generation of people who are like, what now? We just play on the computer, right? You know, it's going to get to that point. You know, it is. So, and like, I'm not going to disparage either group because like they're just different. Yeah. One is not inherently better. They're just different. Both has its pros and its cons.
Man. Although I might like to play it in VR.
That'd be
dude. Different. That'd be way
interesting.
different.
That'd be really, really weird. It can. Oh, can you imagine? Like, how do you hand shuffle?
I don't know. You need like the power gloves.
The power gloves. There you go. or like the haptic suit from Ready Player One.
Oh man.
Oh dude,
I hate that movie so much, Dan.
Well, I love the book. You never read the book, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I can't read.
So why do you hate the movie?
Because I want it to be real so badly.
Then don't read the book. You'll hate it even more. You will hate it even more. The book is so much better. Like, I love the movie. The movie was fun, but oh my goodness. I was blown away when I read that book. Okay, we're just gonna keep going and going if we don't stop. I swear. All right. So, Jim, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yeah. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jim Morgan HNH.
You can find me on Twitter at _DG Campbell, on Instagram at Daniel.G.Campbell. And you can find us at Hobbies and Happiness on all social platforms. A lot of times it's Hobbies and Happiness or hobbies.n.happiness, but it's all posted. It's all posted in the descriptions everywhere, so go follow us. Yeah, we greatly appreciate it.
Check out our Discord.
Yeah. Check us out on Discord, all of the things everywhere. So thanks everybody. Thank you for being here. And thank you for bearing with us as we go through this transition at Hobbies and Happiness. I'm very excited for my future, my family's future as we look to move. But I am also very excited for what is in store for Hobbies and Happiness.
Yes.
There's honestly a lot of things going on behind the scenes. In addition to us moving that I'm just really excited for the future. I'm really, really excited for the future. I'm excited to what we are going to be bringing to our local community. And I cannot wait. Can't wait to see what happens here in the next couple of years. So stay tuned. And thanks everybody again for being here. And we'll catch you in the next episode. All right. See you, everybody.
Take care.